They do not want you to think too much.
This gun of the hand is for the taking of human life.
And there is a teenage neighbor who has known him his entire life, and he thinks that James Holmes was set up.
I'm pissed. That's it. I'm at. You know, I don't feel like he did it. You know, I felt like it was a scam or something, but, you know, it's just overwhelming.
Anthony Mai also tells me he has a hunch the suspect, James Holmes, was bullied.
I felt like, this is just a feeling in my guts, but I felt like he had something, like he was being picked on or something, but that's just my idea.
He was completely dressed in black, head to toe. From what we saw, it seemed like he had something over his face, probably to prevent him from breathing it in. Whatever he was wearing seemed thick, so really, I think he'd stand out in the crowd. We don't know. We have ideas. From what we saw, he wasn't alone. He had someone with him because the second can of tear gas didn't come from his side, and we can only assume that someone got him in. We can only assume that someone got him in.
As I was sitting down to get my seat, I noticed that a person came up to the front row, to the front right, sat down, and as credits were going, I know it seemed like he got a phone call. So he went out towards the emergency exit doorway, which I thought was unusual, to take a phone call.
And most people, when they get phone calls in theaters, they go straight out into the lobby to answer it. This person went directly to the emergency exit to take his phone call, which I thought was unusual. He seemed like a normal person. He wouldn't suspect anything at all. He seemed like he had his foot propped open by the door, and from the crack, it looked like he was signaling somebody or looking for somebody to come his way.
And the fire alarms went off. The fire alarms went off. Just 10 minutes into the movie, somebody pulled the fire alarm. Just 10 minutes into the movie, somebody pulled the fire alarm.
And as we got into the movie, it was about 5-10 minutes into the movie, we hear a fire alarm go off. It was about 5-10 minutes into the movie, we hear a fire alarm go off.
Yeah, I don't know if this information's already been put out, but I'm talking to people that get in statements. It sounds like we have possibly two shooters, one that was in Theater 8, seated, another one that came in from the outside into Theater 9. Sounded like it was a coordinated attack. The Code 4, I just wanted to ensure if we had the information out that there's possibly two shooters.
Negative, that is new news. Break every unit on Blue Southeast. Possible second shooter still at large.
321, one of the shooters might be wearing a white and blue plaid shirt.
Copy out. Standing shooter possibly wearing a white and blue plaid shirt.
Lieutenant Lanigan, confirming one more time that you want all witnesses held, not just number 9.
Again, no witnesses are to be released even if they've been spoken to.
He burst into the emergency exit in the back of the movie theater. What did you think was happening?
You know, it was completely unreal. I've never been in a situation like that in which it just seemed completely fake. Just
pointed the gun directly at my face. I was just terrified, and I just jumped into the aisle and just started crying.
How far? You know, I expected to be. It was the midnight showing of the latest Batman movie, and it looked pretty good as far as that goes.
We would like to now bring in another eyewitness to the carnage, Chris Ramos. He was also in the theater there in Aurora, Colorado. And again, good afternoon to you, Chris. We just heard Jennifer speak of her experience. What did you see in those moments when that smoke canister was set off?
The gunman was shooting, and I was just crawling, staying down, peeking out, trying to see where this gunman was at. It was an actual gunman, like from these movies that we've actually seen before. The things that we see, but we never really actually realized that could happen in real life. It was scary. I was crawling down, keeping my head down so I wouldn't get shot. Nearly thinking that I was going to die, and I was pretty sure that I was ready to die right there.
Chris?
I'm pretty damn sure. Probably the same thing happening right now to the viewers right now. They see it, but they don't feel it. But honestly, me and everyone else in there are feeling it. The image in our heads is stuck in there, and I still have the ticket right here. The ticket right here. And honestly, I'm never gonna forget this night at all. because it was the first time I saw something that was real, like a real life nightmare that was there, not dreaming of.
Chris, we know, we can
to the people, the victims that were there in that theater with me, just to be strong and do not let this evil person take control of us, and that we're better than this.
When did you notice something was wrong?
Honestly, my first initial thought when something went completely wrong is when the guy who was sitting right next to me randomly gets shot.
Weren't sure where he was, and if you moved, you didn't know if he was going to be right above you, like going to shoot you in the back.
Me landing on him, and like as I turn to like find Ethan in the dark of the theater with the gas, like I'm just so disoriented and I lose him. I just lose him, and then he opened fire again, and I'm like, you gotta get Ethan, you gotta get Ethan. So people are running behind me.